You could have written a book and said, I think that we did a great job ending slavery, which we did. But I don't know if this is just because it helps you become a bestseller, but you add this line, the tyranny of imaginary guilt. You're a Christian theologian, and you're saying we shouldn't feel guilty at all about 3 million Africans being taken out of their homes and moved to across the Atlantic? The guilt is imaginary? Why can't we have guilt and also believe everything you just said?
First of all, we can only feel guilt for something we did.
We did. We did take 3 million people out of Africa.
You and I didn't. No, you and I didn't. I can lament what some of our ancestors did. I can't feel guilty for it.
So that means hold on. So you're telling me with a straight face, you don't take pride in Britain, in us defeating the Nazis in World War II? You've never taken pride in that?
I take pride in it. I admire the fact of what
How can you take pride in it? It's not us.
Well, no, of course. I can't claim the credit for having done that because I didn't. My parents did. I didn't.
We as British people take pride.
Only indirectly.
So why can't we take guilt indirectly?
In terms of guilt, because you cannot be guilty for something you didn't do. You can be responsible for the effects. You can't be guilty for it.
But you can take pride in something you didn't do. But you can take pride in something you didn't do.
Metaphorically. So I prefer to use the word admiration now.
I wanted to read a book that had no codes, no little notes explaining things to white people, no little clues, just something that I already knew and what was more provocative about it. And I had a major question in my mind at that time, which was, how does a child learn self-loathing for racial purposes? Where does it come from? Who enables it? How is it infectious? And then what might be the consequences?
And what were the answers?
You learn it from the society at large.
Institution.
But more importantly than that, at a certain time, the self-loathing can be reinforced by one's own family, one's own community. You know, the concept of what is ugly can just be reinforced by people next door. I remember girls who weren't blonde, who longed for that and felt terrible about themselves. I mean, all this physical beauty business is painful if you have to do what you do now, which is cut yourself up in little bits.
Most of us have no idea of the pain it causes people because the society and the culture and the media and the magazines and the television and all the commercials bombard them with what it is to be attractive. And they define attractiveness in our culture, and they find what's good and what's bad. So that all of a sudden, if you don't look like that, you say, I don't like myself.
Oh,
how do I go change myself?
It's death. It's interior death. You never have an opportunity to develop what's really valuable, which is grace, balance, health, virtue, all those good things that each of us can be. But now, if you're going to worry about hair and skin color, how tall you are and how short. I mean, I don't mean that self-esteem is not bound up in some of these things, but I'm talking about obsessive.
Self-esteem is bound up in everything.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah.
A lot of things are happening right now. A lot of people are calling on the black people to speak up. And the black people are saying, hey, can you guys just shut up? Stop calling us. We are not interested. And of course, the blacks are unapologetic about whatever they want to say now, because, you know, when you know that you've said all you could say when it matters the most. And that's exactly what is happening. The black community have said everything that needed to be said. They won the protest. They did all sorts of things. Nobody listened. And everybody's saying, why are they not speaking? Oh, black people, black American, foundation of black Americans, you guys should speak up. ICE is detaining people. They're going to get to you. They're going to blah, 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 blah. The black community are saying, just shut up, guys. We have done the murder of our protests when it matters most, but nobody listen to us. Whatever is happening right now, we have seen it and we projected that this is going to happen, but you guys didn't listen to us. So calling us to speak now is too late. And of course, everybody's saying, oh, there's highest rate in Minnesota. There's unaliving of people. I mean, migrants have been picked. Somalians, even those that are citizens, they're saying, oh, panic and pandemonium everywhere. And people are saying, black people want to speak. Black communities are saying, can you just shut up? Stop calling our names. We're not interested in whatever is happening. They said, this is not our fight. We have spoken to you guys and listen. So right now, we're done talking. Right now, stay your lane. Well, all of these things are happening, and the blacks are unapologetic about what is happening because they are speaking their mind. I mean, you guys are going to watch videos of what. I mean, look at that lady that was like, he said blah 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 about the president. Yeah, and of course, I have some renowned people that are speaking about supremacist agenda, what happened, what is happening, and all that. All of this I put together so that the real conversation can begin when I come back. So credit belongs to original creators of every content I use to this episode. So let's just watch it in hand. And please subscribe, like, and share if you love this good content. And I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
What do you say to that?
I said what I said.
Okay.
That's the energy that we need. That is the energy that I love to see. Janelle Bynum has released a statement because, of course, ICE is out here pew-pewing people again because they don't know how to operate and function because it's state-sponsored terrorism that we're living in right now. Now, Congresswoman Bynum said, this isn't law enforcement, it's state-sponsored terrorism. Stop effing with us. This is the second pew-pewing this week by agents following the orders of a wannabe dictator who is trying to take over cities and rule by instilling terror in the hearts of American people. When the president deployed his guardsmen to our city earlier this year, we told him their presence was unwelcome and unhelpful. Today, we saw just how dangerous this is. We need these goons gone. Get to stepping. And of course, CNN, they had to get an interview with her.
Literally, stop fucking with us was your words. These are goons. And they'll say that is raising the temperature and actually puts some of this law enforcement officers in greater danger.
And baby, she said what she said.
Black people. Tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel away and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't fund the HBCUs because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now they're not allowing us in. And now they're saying, you know what, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's. But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end to make sure that we get our due. Because again, if you want to talk about the people that shouldn't be in this country, you probably need to look in the mirror. Because the last time I checked, the Native Americans who some of ICE have been rounding up, or the Puerto Ricans who were absolutely Americans. Listen, the only people that came and colonized this place are your ancestors, Trump. The
whole point of removing the Department of Education is to get rid of people who have HBCU education. HBCUs directly teach about Black history. CRT. They'll be able to dismantle those places. Those historic places that gave me my education. They don't want us to be smarter than them because they don't have to work as hard as we do. It's never about DEI. It's the fact that white people, especially white men, don't have to work as hard because of their whiteness. They don't want to have to compete for spots. They just want them handed to them. A lot of y'all need to start coming to terms on what Trump is actually trying to do to this country.
I need everybody to lock in right now, because if you aren't furious, you aren't paying attention. Listen, folks, this MAGA circus isn't just clowning around. It is burning to the ground right in front of our faces. Make it make sense. We have a man holding the nuclear codes of the United States. And on Sunday night, instead of worrying about national security, what does he do? He goes on a spiraling meltdown and posts over 400 times in 1 hour. You heard me right. 400. That is not presidential behavior. That is the behavior of a man who is losing his mind, a man who is absolutely melting down in fear because he knows his house of cards is collapsing, has attacking Midas touch, has obsessed with Michelle Obama, and get this, has posting a fake AI video of the Venezuelan president surrendering. What planet is he living on? Does he think the American people are stupid enough to believe cheap cartoons? This is cognitive decline at its most dangerous level, but hold up, do not let him distract you. While the commander-in-tweet is busy spamming at midnight, his lackey, that TV host Pete Hegseth running the Department of Defense, is caught up in literal war crimes. Republicans love to scream about law and order, right? Yet they ordered a double tap strike to kill 2 survivors floating helplessly in the ocean. That isn't brave combat. That is an execution. That is a violation of international law. And the cowardice is what makes me sick. Pete Hegseth went on Fox News beating his chest saying, I commanded it. I watched it live. But now that Congress is involved, now that the Washington Post has the scoop, he folds like a cheap suit and tries to pin it all on Admiral Bradley. Oh, we got the receipts, Pete. We have the video of you bragging about it. Don't try to hide your hands now. You are willing to sacrifice the honor of a military admiral just to save your cheap political career? And look at the Pentagon right now. It is a national disgrace. They kicked out real journalists to replace them with who? Laura Loomer, Vince Dow, extremists sitting there drinking beer at the Defense Department press desk. Are you kidding me? This is the most powerful military command center in the world, not a MAGA frat house. Wake up, America. We have an unhinged president, a defense secretary dodging war crimes, and a Pentagon turned into a circus. Do not let those 400 trash posts blind you. This administration isn't just incompetent. They are lawless and they are dangerous. We will not be silent. We are bringing it all to the light. And believe me, I am coming with receipts.
I wanted to read a book that had no codes, no little notes explaining things to white people, no little clues, just something that I already knew and what was more provocative about it. And I had a major question in my mind at that time, which was, how does a child learn self-loathing for racial purposes? Where does it come from? Who enables it? How is it infectious? And then what might be the consequences?
And what were the answers?
You learn it from the society at large.
Institution.
But more importantly than that, at a certain time, the self-loathing can be reinforced by one's own family, one's own community. You know, the concept of what is ugly can just be reinforced by people next door. I remember girls who weren't blonde, who longed for that and felt terrible about themselves. I mean, all this physical beauty business is painful if you have to do what you do now, which is cut yourself up in little bits.
Most of us have no idea of the pain it causes people because the society and the culture and the media and the magazines and the television and all the commercials bombard them with what it is to be attractive. And they define attractiveness in our culture, and they find what's good and what's bad. So that all of a sudden, if you don't look like that, you say, I don't like myself.
Oh,
how do I go change myself?
It's death. It's interior death. You never have an opportunity to develop what's really valuable, which is grace, balance, health, virtue, all those good things that each of us can be. But now, if you're going to worry about hair and skin color, how tall you are and how short. I mean, I don't mean that self-esteem is not bound up in some of these things, but I'm talking about obsessive.
Self-esteem is bound up in everything.
Well, sure. Yeah.
What is amazing about this whole thing is the fact that all of this talking has been done times to that number. You know, when you see a black person speaking now, they are not speaking what is new. No, 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 no. They are not speaking what is new. They are speaking what had been happening. And they've been speaking and nobody's listening. The palm colored people are not listening. And that is why it looks like we're done talking. The blacks are saying we're done talking. What else do you want to say? What else do you want us to say that has not been said? And of course, you see that lady that was interviewed. He said, he wants the lady to say it again. Yesterday, I said what I said. So I'm not going to retract it. I'm not going to withdraw it. I'm not going to say, no, what I said is what I've said again. And that's why I said blacks are unapologetic about whatever they have said in time past. And they're saying it again. But what they will not do is to join the protest or join the fight. They said, no, 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 we are done talking. Look at that beautiful woman that wrote book and said, and that's why I said all of the things that are happening today is not today I started, it has happened before. A book was written about how palm colored people, he said, how they learn those characters, behaviors. He said it started by it started in families when families were going to teach their words from when they were young, and they have this agenda that black people are this and that, and we're going to teach them how to avoid them, how to behave in an awkward manner, how to behave in a certain way when they see a black person. She started in the book. And look at that guy. I mean, that guy that interviewed that man. It was like, are you proud of what happened to people when it comes to slave trade, when it comes to colonial master, what they did back then? It was like, he said he has no feeling. He can't be responsible for what happened. He said, these are the things we're talking about. So, but whatever happened. We are not the one that did it. But what the difference is that the people of nowadays are riding on the bad behavior that was exhibited. For example, when black folks were taken, were the slave trade, right? The people that took them received money. Government paid them, and the people that were the victim, they were not paid anything till now. And the man was asking, "Were you guilty? Do you feel any form of guilt?" He said, "No, it's not feeling any guilt." And now, what the difference is now, even now, the narrative about white supremacists is still being propagated. They're still propagating it. They're still pushing that narrative. You say you're not guilty of what was done by our forefathers, but right now you are supporting the narrative. You are pushing it so that it will not fade away. It will not get out of the system. And when you see a white person today, I mean, the way they behave when they see some certain set of people, but the truth that I love about that black woman is that it said the black people are superior. They are ahead of them. They are the one that give birth to them. When a white meets a black person, the black will subdue the white because black gives birth to brown. Whites cannot give birth to black. So the woman said, we subdue. We have the tendency. And that's why I said, blacks are saying it the way it is. He said, we have the tendency to fade out the white people. That's what she said. Said the tendency for the white to fade out is very, very high. Why? Because when the white mix with black, you get a mixed color. And that mixed color is no longer a white. That mixed color is going to give birth to another mixed color or a black person because the black is so powerful. When that mixed color mix with a white person, it's not going to give it to that white person again. So she said this whole agenda is because of the fear that they have that the black people are going to dominate the world. They're going to subdue, they're going to submerge the palm colored people. And that is the real narrative. And that is why everything is being done against the black people not to rise. And the policies does not favor them. The constitution does not favor them. We have more policing them, making sure they make mistake, and then they can be arrested. They can be tamed. They can be all sort of things happening. But guess what? The blacks are emerging. They are speaking this truth that has been hidden for ages. They are saying, this is the reason. We know this is the reason you guys are doing everything to cage us. And they are unapologetic about this fact. What is happening in Minnesota, ICE and all that, they said they know everything. And they're waiting for what is going to result to at the long run, because we know that at the long run, there's still an agenda that is hidden that they still want to carry out. And the black people have seen this, they are well prepared for it. And when the time comes, maybe that's not the way we speak, but right now they said, hey, it is not a fight. They just keep out of the whole situation. They are not interested in what is happening because they foretold it and they warned everybody, but nobody listened. Guys, what do you think about this? Let the conversation begin at the comment section. Let's talk about this. What do you think? The black people were always right, but what is palm color people doing? I don't know. In case you know, tell me at the comment section. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the likes and comments. Thank you for all the encouraging words. I love you guys. See you around again. And bye bye.